Go to Grandma Kathy Buckworth joins us this morning with advice for historical travel with the grandkids, fresh off her trip from Northern Ireland.
From
nice
Northern
scarf.
Ireland. Thank you very much. Yes, Northern Ireland as opposed to the Republic of Ireland, which is what a lot of people think of when they think about traveling to Ireland. So I did. I went to Belfast and Derry in Northern Ireland, and it was great fun. And what made it really great is I applied some of the principles of traveling with grandkids to myself. How's that? To see, let's do this trip in a slightly different way. So I really made sure that I planned pretty much every minute of every day, which you want to do with little kids, of course. They know what they're going to see. And I went actually through booking.com for most of it. I booked my taxi, I booked my hotels, activities, etc. And they've come out with some great information that says that about 47% of us are really looking at investing in our vacations, want to get our dollars worth.
Yeah, if you're there.
If you're there.
Yeah.
And about a fifth of Canadians say, I want to make it something historical and worthwhile that I'm going to really go to days gone by or something that means something to my family. Important things when you're traveling with grandkids. So I wanted to make sure that I packed in a lot of educational stuff, but as I'm doing it, I'm thinking, if I take kids with me, I'm not going to say, you're going to learn something on this trip.
We're going to go to a museum and you're going to learn something.
Take it in, read the plaques, let it be organic. Take them to places that mean something that you can talk about after, maybe when they're a bit older or when you get back home and say, remember we went to the Giant's Causeway? Remember we went and we saw where the Troubles, where they signed the peace accord in just 1998 in Northern Ireland. So that's not that long ago. It's very recent history, but of course steeped in great history. You want to do what I call slow travel. So I flew into Belfast. I made my way up to Derry, where Derry Girls is filmed. I love that show too. And then worked my way back down the Giant's Causeway, the Coastal Causeway, and came back down to Belfast over the space of like 7 or 8 days. So this does, a lot of people say, well, it's Tuesday, I got to do Belgium. It's Wednesday, I got to do. It's exhausting and you really just don't take it in. Though especially with kids, I feel you want to book in slow travel. And slow travel is staying in the same hotel 3-4 nights, staying there long enough where you get to know your favorite cafe, or you get to know
your favorite pub.
Or your favorite pub. And we've been down this street before, kids, or do you remember when we did this? So that they really get a feel for the place instead of just this sort of, we've been here one time and now we're moving on.
And we've got to go get a magnet or something like that, right?
So Northern Ireland is really interesting. Again, the peace accord was just signed in 1998. I mean, I have kids who were born before that. It's not that long ago. And you can still feel, I would say, not a tension, that's too strong a word for it, but you can see that the disagreement was there. There are still parts of Belfast and Derry where you don't live there if you're not Catholic. You don't live there if you're not Protestant. So there's still, the divide is there. It's very calm. It's very peaceful. It's extremely safe. So I would recommend the travel to anyone. There is a joke that says that you don't go to Ireland for the weather, which is really true. So don't plan it around. It's going to be some great summer holiday. Plan that it's going to be a great historical trip. I went at the end of November, beginning of December, which isn't the best time to go. But here's another tip. Going off peak, especially if your kids are young or you can take them out of school. Don't go on St. Patrick's Day and that. Like that's a little silly, right? To go to Ireland
and pack things so that pack waterproof things and things that are going to be layered.
Absolutely,
right?
And that's what I did. Yeah, layer things, everything. Take the umbrella. You're going to be looking at these great historic sites. You're going to see them in their natural setting. You're not going to be going to Ireland to lie on a beach. So the direct flights to Belfast. You have to travel by bus or train up to Derry. Super easy country to get around, by the way. And the scenery changes as you move from one part of the country to the other. I mean, I can't recommend it highly enough. And of course, it's getting a great focus right now with shows like Derry Girls, etc.
Yes.
But certainly well worth doing.
And you purposely didn't take your grandkids on you with this one because they're not old enough.
They're too young. They're only 3 and 1. And so again, when I talk about organic learning and don't force things on them, they're really just not going to remember anything at that age. So for me, I find some of these trips are like a scouting mission, if you know what I mean. I want to go back again someday and take them and then exactly know what to take them to because I will have been there. So when you look at trips from that perspective, I think it gives you an idea of, well, a 5-year-old would enjoy this or an 8-year-old would enjoy that. So take them back when they're old enough to really appreciate it. And my kids do have not through my side, believe not with a name like Kathleen, but through my son-in-law. They have very strong Irish heritage, so they would really like to go there someday.
So that's awesome. So we've got all your tips, and they're on your blogs and on your
kathybuckworth.com. You can find everywhere I visited, all up and down that part of Northern Ireland. And again, recommend it. And don't wait again for summer. Don't wait for St. Patrick's Day. Go off peak, book the whole thing. Your whole itinerary will appear on booking.com if you do it that way. It's super easy and super fun.
Okay. Great. Oh boy.
Yeah,
your grandkids have a great trip ahead of them
in the years to come. I'm having my 3rd one in May. So how's that? So I'll take all 3.
All right. We'll get all the details, all the connections up at chch.com.